all, this is Annie B. I want to share the finished jewelry pieces I made from the January 2020 Bargain Bead Box with you. Now this month theme is Regal, and as outlined in the information sheet, it says that this collection features a variety of shapes from deep lapis lazuli and striated agate to bright turquoise and crystal. Now this box also contained a lot of copper finding. Okay, so let's get started. But before I show you the pieces that I made, these are the leftover items that I had. And I have quite a few of them that's left over that I can make other projects with. And I will be using this in a future project. This is a lovely piece, but I have all of this to look forward to and work with a little later. So let's just get these out of the way and let's start with the pieces that I made. But first of all, what I did make was 8 pairs of earrings. I made 3 necklaces and 4 bracelets. So let's get started with the necklace. Now this is necklace number 1. This necklace was made from the 45 by 30 millimeter chandelier focus component, and this is gorgeous. Look at the sparkles from the corn beads. Now, as stated, I used the 4 millimeter corn beads and the bumper spacer to make the dangles, which I attached to the lower part of this chandelier. Now, to make the center dangle, I used the corn beads and I used the bumper spacers along with the 16 millimeter flower link, and I also topped it off with the flower charm. Now to complete the necklace, I made connectors using the crystal corn beads and the bumper spacers again and the flower link. Now what I did use was, this is a copper chain from my stash. And this particular necklace, it rests quite well on the shoulder, on your collarbone, and it is stunning with the movement of these little corn beads. It's just sparkles. Now I also use a heart-shaped lobster clasp, and I use a closed jump ring, and I also put an extender if you wanted to wear it a little below the collarbone. So that is necklace number 1, which is simply gorgeous. Okay, necklace number 2. This necklace right here, it actually just speaks for itself. Now this is the Teardrop Pendants True Blue. This necklace, for this necklace, I simply added a bell, I added a silver chain and a lobster clasp and a closed jump ring. Now this large pendant is lovely all by itself, so I decided not to add anything else other than a silver chain. This necklace falls way below the bust line, and it looks stunning on me. This is a long silver chain, and it is simply gorgeous. Now for necklace number 3. This necklace has a soft feel to it. This necklace also rests on the collarbone. The sparkling from the crystal corn bead is so eye-catching. This is a lovely soft piece, and as you can see, I also use the flower link and the crystal corn beads again, and the chain used was also included in this month's Bargain Bead Box. I use a copper magnet for the clasp, and because of the lightness of the necklace, I believe this clasp will hold quite well this particular necklace. Okay, that's the end of the necklace. So next, I made 4 bracelet. Now I decided to make a charm bracelet with all of these beads. I use a silver chain for my stash. I wire wrapped all components so they won't fall off. I use the 8mm agate royal blue beads. And for my stash, I use some silver ladybugs. I have a ton of these, so I decided I would utilize these. And I also added a couple of silver hearts and a little bit of love beads. That is so cute. To complete this, and what I did was I used a closed jump ring for protection, so the bead wouldn't come off. So that is the charm bracelet that I made. Now, bracelet number 2. This one was the turquoise bracelet that I made, and I used the Heishi beads for this. Now, to make this one, I used the 49 strand beaded wire, and I used the, as I said, the Heishi beads. And to this pattern, I used 3 of the beads together, and I used the bumper spacer to create the pattern. Now, to finish this bracelet, I use copper crimps, wire protector, a copper lobster claw, and I use a closed jump ring. This is lovely. Now, bracelet number 3. This is my silver and blue bracelet. For this bracelet, I also used the 49 strand bead and wire. I used the crystal rondelle that matte midnight metallic beads. And for my stash, I found some silver or copper beads, and I added to give it a little contrast. And I believe these beads came from one of the Bargain Bead Box. And the little tiny shiny beads in here, I don't know what they're called, but they're cute and shiny, and I believe they also came from Bargain Bead Box. Now, to finish the bracelet, I used a silver crimp and crimp cover, and I also used a lobster clasp, and I used closed jump ring for this particular bracelet. Now, this one, bracelet number 4, I had a lot of fun with this piece. This is a memory wire bracelet, and for this bracelet I use 3 rings of memory wire, and I cut them to size. And on this particular bracelet, I use the 8x6 crystal rondelle, the matte midnight metallic beads, and I also use the 6mm agate round beads. And for the closure, I use a connector, and I connected all 3 of these rings to this chandelier here, and I made it as a connector to connect all my wires. And I use a magnetic clasp for the closure, and I felt safe in using the magnetic clasp for the bracelet, which I don't normally feel comfortable using them because I've lost several. But since this is a memory wire bracelet and it already has a curvature form to it, I didn't think I would have any problems, and that just snapped together. And I think this is lovely. So those are the 4 bracelets that I made. Okay, now I just went crazy with the earrings, and I'm not gonna say too much about them because they actually speak for themselves. Now, I did use the these are long dangles that I use, and I use those 12mm crystal over matte window beads for this particular pair. And I use the 8x6mm crystal round rondelle beads, that metallic bead right there. And I use a different bead cap on each one of these, the beads that I have. Now, that's pair number 1. Pair number 2. These are very simple, and they are cute, and they are easy to make. And this piece here, I use a single crystal rondelle bead. I use again the midnight metallic beads, and I add the silver findings to it, and I add the silver fish hook from my stash, and that's this piece right here. Now the third pair that I made, I love all the findings that was in this month's box. And for this pair of earrings, I used the tiny coin beads, the bumper spacer. I told you I kept using these. They really stuck to me this time. And I used the dotted flower charm on here. I connected all to a copper disc that I had in my stash. These are pretty. And the next pair that I made, this is pair number 4. Got 4 more to go. Now this pair, I used a flat metal piece that I had in my stash. And this was a bronze color. And so what I did, the bronze just didn't match. But I used a little of this patina. And I put some texture in the wire. And I put a little patina on there to kind of bring the color down a little bit. And I used the chain from this month's box, and I use again the matted bead, and that is lovely. Okay, the next pair, this is number 5. 3 more to go. I use with this one the turquoise, the Heishi bead. And I also use the bumper spacer for this set. And I followed the 3 beads pattern that would go quite well with this. This would be a lovely set. And I may just send that to my sister. I don't know, but I'll see. And now the next set that I made, this is number 6. This is a simple pair of earrings. I added a large bead cap from my stash, and I used the I think it's the oval mat, the window beads. I think that's what it was called. It was a crystal oval mat window bead, and I made this, and I used the copper ear wire to go with this. And I thought this was nice. And I did use one of the bead caps that was included in this month's box. The next pair I made, I use, these are the 2 bead dangle earrings, and I use again the blue metallic and the agate round beads. These are very simple but very nice. You can wear them anywhere and anytime. Now the last pair that I made, this is a lovely pair here. I had fun making this pair here, and it's all about the copper. I use the copper flower link, 2 of the teardrops chandelier that was in the packet. I wire wrapped the crystal coin beads, again the coin beads, to the chandelier, and these are so pretty. They got a lot of movement, and I think it will go quite well with the necklace that I made here. They are very soft, and it got that sparkle from the coin beads. So those are the pieces that I've made, and I'm going to see if I can get them all on the screen, and I'll be right back. Okay, these are all the pieces that I have made from the January 2020 Bargain Bead Box. I tried to get them all in a one shot. But as I said, I made the 3 bracelet, no, I made 3 necklace, 4 bracelet, and 8 pairs of earrings, and still have additional pieces left over to create more. So I love all of these pieces, and particularly this one here. I just love the way I took the chandelier piece and I made that connector. I got all that in your stash that you can use and be creative with. And the magnetic clasp, this is a beautiful piece. So that is it for Annie B for the month of January Bargain Bead Box. So if you like what you see, please don't forget to like and subscribe for other upcoming video. See you later. Bye bye.